So welcome guys at a new video of CG Carworks, and actually I had many questions of you guys and we wanted to do a Q&A video for a very long time, although we never did, and today I thought it is the day to do some Q&A. I'm now driving to my business and then we're going to start this thing and answer all of your questions. So your first question is actually, how about the Nissan GT-R project? Well, it was on hold for a little bit, and we actually, further than you saw in the last video, the whole engine is finished and ready to go in. Chassis is finished, we have to put a few bolts, nuts still on, and we will continue and think about, I would say, 2.5 months. Then you will see a new video of this beautiful GT-R project. So, next question. Do you also paint cars? Well, no. We do actually spot repairs, so small paintworks with small parts of an underbody mostly. Maybe a part of the bumper or very small things we can do actually. But we are not going to do painting doors, fenders or complete car. We sometimes offer that to customers to arrange that. So we work together with a couple of body shops here in the area and we try to arrange that in that way. So we don't do that in-house, but we sometimes offer that. We help people doing that because there's actually a lot to it. It's not just painting cars, because you have to check regularly with the painters if how it is going and keep it up to date, and especially the quality has to be very well. So therefore we sometimes help customers in the whole process of making your car nice. So that's what we do. So we don't do any paintwork in-house. So next question, what kind of events are you attending? So yeah, you know, every year we are in Maastricht in the classic, so classic car show with a stand. That's the only one every year actually, and then we are myself attending a few shows, and it will be this year a few Concorde Elegance shows where we be there and connect with customers and see some cars and learn about that whole process. And there's something very cool coming up about that whole thing, but I will only tell you that when everything is official, so stay tuned for that. So we will be in Sweden for the Concorde Elegance, maybe Italy, and there's also one in England I wanted to go. Of course, Pebble Beach. I don't think we will go this year, but we will see how things will go. But that's something I really want to go. Pebble Beach, Concorde Elegance is really big on my list. So those are the events where I definitely will go to. Maybe a few other ones, I don't know. Nothing on the radar yet and nothing in my agenda yet. That's it about the events. So, next question, what kind of ceramic coating you use on paint? Well, we do use the brand CarPro Finance Reserve, and I'm really happy with that. It's a 2-layer system. I use it already for many years. I'm just happy with it. I stay with it for now. So CarPro Finance Reserve we use for paint coating. And the next question, very important as well. How do I remove bird poop? That's very important. We see quite a lot of problems with that because you can't rub around your paint. You will definitely scratch it. So first step, cook some water, put it on, make it hot, and then sometimes you just wipe it off. That's easy as it gets. But also a very good tip, if that's not working, take a towel, make it wet with hot water, and then leave it on for a couple minutes, maybe an hour or so, and it will really soak in. And then if you're lucky, you can just wipe it off. Going to rub down your paint, you will definitely make scratches. And then if it is off, sometimes you still have some stains in your paint. And then you should go to your local detailer. He can maybe fix that with polishing, or maybe a heat gun. He can out of the paint with heat. Sometimes work, but if that's too far gone, that won't work either. This is something also the case, what a lot of people don't know is that with flies, so insects on front of your car, since when they get hot, if your engine bonnet gets very hot, in this case, not really the case, although we have some coolers, so they can also be get hot, the bumper up there. And if they stay on long, those insects, they will also burn in your paint, exactly the same as bird poop will do. So sometimes you see quite some stains also from flies, and sometimes it's to do also with the impact. When they go very hard on your car, they are pretty hard sometimes, so they can leave some damage. And also the flies itself, they stain your paint as well, and you could get out also with heat or with polishing or sanding, but sometimes you are too late and it has really burned into your paint very deep. It will be in there forever. So that's very important to know about bird poops and also flies. Next question. We actually have quite a lot of questions about dry ice cleaning, the biggest one, and there's also something that comes up very often when people come here, is that the big question: can we remove rust with dry ice? And the answer is no, we can't. We cannot remove rust with dry ice. So there are some companies that offer machines where you can add some sand or some glass to it. You can add a lot of things. Ice on one part, some abrasive part, and with the abrasive part you can actually remove the rust. But we don't do that, since you're going to mix that with your dry ice, and what happens quite a lot, especially for your underbody, bearings will go broke. So for your suspension it is very bad. So after a few years it's going to crack, you're going to hear a lot of noises. First you don't really notice that, but after quite some miles you will have some problems. We don't do that. It is too risky to put anything abrasive in the dry ice machine. It works actually perfect to remove rust actually, but we do not want to run that risk. So we'll do that manually with all kinds of things to remove it and make sure the rust is gone, and then put some primers on. So no, we can't remove any rust with dry ice, but we do that manually. And please do not use a machine where you combine something. You can maybe do that some part of the body, you don't have any suspension nearby, but it's just very risky because it goes everywhere, and we do not want to risk that. I mean, we work on quite some expensive cars, and if you do that with that abrasive stuff and your rubbers go bad after a few miles, we have a huge problem. So we don't do that. We don't want that risk. So the next question, very interesting one, is not really a question actually, it's more a statement. I let my car dry ice clean for 700 euros. Well, good thing. At our place, that's not possible. I mean, you can do that, but dry ice cleaning is the same as cleaning your car. So you have car cleaners, you have detailers, you have extreme detailers. So we will be more in the extreme detailing part. So you can wash your car in an hour, but you can also wash your car in 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, maybe a week. You can go as far as you can go. And that's the same case with dry ice. A lot of companies have just straight weights for dry ice cleaning, but again, you can't really do that. Depends on how far you want to go, but for 700 euros, your car underbody will not be clean, and promise you that. Just the fact that dry ice is just really expensive, and it just takes a lot of time. You have to have a lot of patience for that. So if you want your car to be dry ice cleaned for 700 euros, do not come to us. We can't help you. I guess there will be many companies around that will do that for 700 euros, but do not expect the same level as we deliver here. You can dry ice for a day, 2 days, 3 days, and if you walk around the car after 3 days dry ice cleaning, you always find still something. It is still crazy. Every day you look over the car, you see new things. So no, we don't do that for 700 euros. We don't do actually just dry ice cleaning, is part of the project. So that's it for that, not for 700 euros. So next question is also about that, and he's saying, oh, I will buy my own dry ice machine. I'm going to do dry ice cleaning as well. That's cool. The thing is that we see quite a lot of people coming up with that, because if you see the prices, they are expensive, and people think, yeah, I make a lot of money, I'm going to do some dry ice cleaning. But the setup is very expensive, the dry ice is very expensive, comes with a lot of dirt. Dry ice cleaning on itself is not really a money-making machine. It is nice, but we don't really make money. It's just part of the project. You need to have it. But I see a lot of companies come and go that do dry ice cleaning. So if you offer 700 euros dry ice cleaning services, you can, but you have to manage customer expectations, because they can't expect the same from the 700 euros. Result is completely different. So that's comparing putting your car to the automatic car wash and bring your car to a detailer who's detailing 3 days on your car. So that's maybe a good comparison to make. So not all dry ice cleaning is the same. So that's very important to know. So next question is then, what kind of wax do you use on the underbody after dry ice clean? Yeah, we actually do use a couple of them. We use many brands, and we also do something of our own. We are mixing up colors because we always want to match the wax that was used back in the factory back then. So, for example, Volkswagen had a very yellowish wax, BMW also, depending on the year. Porsche, for example, they have a very brownish wax, and a lot of cars do not have wax, Japanese cars, modern cars, so then we actually do use a very clear one. A beige one is used also quite often, so we have many colors. We actually sometimes make ourselves to match the original ones. So that's what we do, so we don't have a specific brand. But we are working on our own wax, which we're going to sell under the Duesto brand. So I'm really happy about that actually, but will take a bit more longer because that's quite a lot of work. And our focus is not on the brand now, but if you want to have a wax, contact us. Maybe we can help you with that. So we don't use any specific brand at the moment. We will make our own and sell it in the future under the Duesto brand. So that's what we're going to do. So that's about the underbody wax. Oh yeah, very important. All the waxes we do use are kind of clear. So all the beige, brownish, they're all semi-clear. So the very brown one that Porsche uses, that's not super clear, but still you can see through it if you do have light coats. But for example, the old Porsches, they have a very thick layer of brown wax. Has to be that way. Then it comes separate of protection and looks. That's a very big difference actually. A lot of opinions from different people. There are some black waxes that maybe have a bit more protection in it, but when it will rust, and it will rust actually, you won't see that. And with the clear wax, you just check every year and you always see when it is rusting and you can fix it on the spot and you will not be too late. So that's a very big plus point of a clear wax. So mostly we use and also clear waxes. So that's the question I think answered. Let's see when we have still another questions. So how often should I bring my car back from maintenance or inspection? So yeah, that's a good question. For ceramic coating, we actually do every year. Also depending, of course, how much you drive a car. If you drive it maybe 500 kilometers in a year, maybe 3 years, even fine. But normally we will say 1 year or that kind of miles, or 15,000 or 50,000 miles is actually quite a lot. So I would say every year come back, or every 20,000 come back to us and we check the car and do a maintenance wash on it. And for your underbody, also completely depends on how you use it. Is it sitting in your garage the whole day like this one? Well, then every year or every 2 years is fine to come back, and then you will wash your car from the underbody and it will look fresh again. So next question, actually also together with this, why would I detail my underbody? So very important, because nobody else will see it. That's true. But you drive a lot and the dirt will stick for many years. I mean, your paint will you maybe wash every 2 weeks, maybe every 3 weeks, maybe even every week. But the underbody, nobody does. And the most important parts are on your underbody. The best reason to clean it. Sometimes you have to do it. It's not that people see it, but just maintenance. It's really just maintenance. And if you want to go that far as we want to have it super clean, you can. Also, there's a very good example. I just drive it also through the rain, and sometimes every year I just clean it, and that is fresh. If you do it every year or every 2 years, it will stay nice. And it's not that you clean it one day and you just drive it and it will be as it was, because the before was maybe of 10 years or 15 years or 25 years of driving, and then your car gets very dirty. But if you do it once and then keep maintaining it, it will stay nice for a very long time. So next question is also on paint. What's the difference between a sealant, a wax and a ceramic coating? And I do actually understand that it's quite confusing, all these things. If you're not really into it, I can understand some people do not really understand. And I will actually level these up into a soft coating and a hard coating. So a wax and a ceramic sealant are soft coating. So those coatings, those waxes, are sitting on top of your paint. So a wax is mostly made out of natural ingredients, and a sealant is mostly synthetic. And a sealant actually has less gloss than a wax, but that will stay longer on your paint, because that's just better in weather with salt water, sun and rain, and going very hot, going very cold, will stay much longer on your paint than a wax. So you can have the most expensive wax you could have. It will not stay super long on your car if you have a daily driver. So never use a wax on your daily driver. It will not stay long on your car. It's really on like these kind of cars that you maybe use in good weather in the weekends. sealant, then the wax is absolutely amazing. It has very, very high gloss, depending, I mean, you have waxes from 10 euros to, I think the most expensive wax is 65,000 euros, I believe. And a ceramic coating is a hard coating, so it is a complete other chemical process taking place, and this stuff will really bond to your paint, so it will be one. So it really adheres with your paint, gets very, very hard. So if you have some alcohol or some degreaser, you can wipe off the wax or the sealant, but the ceramic coating, after it's cured, you can't wipe it off. You sometimes have to sand it out with sandpaper, so hard it will get. So for long-term protection, always go for a ceramic coating. So the big advantage of a ceramic coating, it will last much longer on your paint. We don't talk about weeks or months, we talk about years. And it gets just very hard, and it just has, the level of protection is just much, much higher than the soft coating. So that's the big difference. And since this ceramic coating gets so hard, you want to prep your paint as best as possible, because you can't say, oh, we polish it again, we see some scratch left, let's do some polishing and we put some coating on. So when we put a ceramic coating on, we prep the paint as best as we can, then put it on, and then you're good. Then you have the nicest result, the nicest finish on your paint, and then you're finished for many, many years. With wax, it's different. Waxing your car is also fun. A lot of people do that because it is fun. If you wax your car, just like this car, you don't really drive it much, it will stay on also years. I have waxes that from customers that I put on maybe 5 years ago, and they are still amazing. So really depends on what you do with your car. So wax, sealant, soft coatings, ceramic coating, a hard coating, and will stay much longer on your paint. I think I answered that question, hopefully, for you guys. And if you have more about that, I guess you would have put some questions down below and we can answer that as well. So that's what we actually have for now. Let's see if we have some more into that subject. That's maybe also very interesting for you guys. Does professional detailing actually increase the car's resale value? Well, a very big yes. And there it comes actually what we actually have quite often. Where do I put my border? How much money am I going to spend on a car before selling it? You see a very big change coming up with Bring a Trailer in America, making videos detailing the underbody. You see that's coming up more lately, because a buyer just wants to drive. He does not want to think about all the things he still has to do, which he also cannot really calculate how much it will cost him. So therefore, if you sell your car, just make it as perfect as possible. Then it's so much easier to sell it. So definitely will increase your resale value. Pretty sure. We do that a lot of dealers. Actually, we help transforming their cars from under the body, engine bay, paint, interior, whatever. You can spend quite some money and still get it back. Also, of course, completely depends on the car. I think we run to all the most interesting questions for now. Let's see if we have a few more. Yeah, we actually have one. Not really about detailing. What do you think about the fuel prices? Well, yeah, they're a bit high, but I don't really worry about that much. It is what it is. I can make myself very angry about it, but it won't help me anything. I can't change that. And if you want to change that, you have to get in politics, and I do not want to get in politics, so I just don't think about it. I don't worry about it. I fill up my fuel tank. Shitty, that is a bit more expensive, but that's life. I'm not going to make myself crazy about that. It is what it is. I'm not going to worry about things I myself can't change. That is a very good life lesson, I think. If you do that, it makes your life a lot easier. And if you really want to change something like that, then you can. You have to go do something else. You have to pursue that. But I don't have those ambitions. So the fuel prices is what it is. I can't change it, so I don't worry about it. I just fuel it up and drive and enjoy my car. So that's what it is. I'm pretty sure good times come again and fuel prices will be cheaper, hopefully in the future. So guys, I think we answered quite some questions today. And if you have even more questions, please leave them in the comments and I will look at them, and maybe in the future another Q&A video with all of your new questions. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope I answered all of your questions, and hope to see you for the next video again here at CG Carworks. Thank you very much and see you. Goodbye.